everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Freedom Week Dark in the Multiverse of the Master Mage. Life Fades Away. Thank you for joining us for your weekly dose of superhero shenanigans. My name is Alex, and I will be your humble game master this evening. Tonight we are playing Green Ronin Publishing's Mutants and Masterminds, the world's greatest superhero RPG. M&M's a D20 system which generates cinematic superhero action through its central mechanic of a D20 plus a modifier versus a difficulty check. It's super simple and allows a ton of flexibility for gamers looking to tell stories ripped right out of their favorite comics and movies. There's also a wide open character creation system to bring your ideal superhero to life. The last thing I want to touch on in the system is one of my favorite game mechanics ever. Mutants and Masterminds gives players hero points to supercharge their actions in game. These points can be used to reroll dice, edit a scene to include something the GM didn't say was there, and even to modify or improve a character's powers for that extra oomph to get out of a sticky situation. Hero points are earned by leaning into genre tropes, acting heroically, good role-playing, jokes I think are funny, jokes I think aren't funny, and suffering setbacks just like superheroes and other media. However, here at the Untold Stories Project, we have another way for our plucky heroes to earn those points, and that is from you, the audience. Anyone who follows, subscribes, or renews a subscription, or donates bits to the stream is given a hero point that you may give to the hero or game master of your choice. We've gathered some beer-battered heroes tonight. Say, here we go again, heroes.
Here we go again,
heroes.
I want to give everyone a chance to tell us a little bit about themselves, the character they will be playing, and have them answer my question of the day, which is, who is your character's celebrity crush? Starting with Calvin.
Oh. Good
Is that 2 weeks in a row, or did he start with Andy last week?
I started with Deuce
Me.
last week.
Oh, you started with Deuce last week? Oh my god, all the weeks are running together.
Well, hey everyone, I'm Calvin. And tonight I will be playing Fletch Beaumont III, aka Bowman, the agile archer with the awesome array of arrows. Here on Tuesdays and Wednesdays and sort of Fridays, and also over on some YouTube stuff on the Women's Ice channel. To answer the question of the day, so I couldn't really think of a celebrity that Bowman would be into, but there is another somewhat famous archer in the Earth Prime universe, Deadeye the Huntsman, an Australian gold medalist. And I was kind of thinking, I don't know the timeline of everything that happens in the entire world in this world, but I was kind of thinking Bowman definitely would have been into like Olympic archery when he was younger. And yeah, I was thinking that might be something he would have an eye on, like the same way people might have a crush on like an actor or a musician or something. He would have a crush on someone who's good at archery.
Here, I expected you to say the Arctic Fox.
No, that's Calvin.
Well, is Arctic Fox a celebrity?
Aren't supervillain celebrities of an ignominious nature?
Well, if that counts, sure. I guess with that, I'll pass it to Andy.
Hey everyone, I'm Andy. I'm here on Wednesday nights for our superhero shenanigans. You can also find me over on our website where I write blog posts on occasion, and over on our YouTube site where I am the host of the Swordforge series. Tonight I am playing Resonant, our resident gem mage, and to answer the question of the day, Resonant does not have a celebrity crush. It's not that she wouldn't. It's just that she doesn't really pay attention to a lot of the pop culture on Earth Prime to do so. So, sorry. Kat, your turn.
Hi, I'm Kat. I play Centuria on Wednesdays today, and then I also play Cassian on our Friday. I almost said blog post. Friday podcast. So definitely give that a listen. We have a lot of fun on that. As for the question of the day, I had a hard time with this because the only person that we know for sure that Centuria, I guess there's two. The only two people that we know for sure that Centuria has ever loved are Overdrive and Thunderbolt before Thunderbolt was a machine thing. So I had a hard time, so I just picked Hugh Jackman. And that's my answer. He does everything, so like whatever, right? He's the catch-all. And I'll just pass it over to Jonesy.
Somewhere Ray
I
is
would-
like, does Centuria really not know what's wrong with me? I'm made of living energy. It's not complicated.
Oh, poor Ray. So, hi everybody. I'm Jonesy, and tonight I'll be playing Mortis, Master Mage of the Crossroads and Living Dead Guy. And as far as his celebrity crush, I'm going to go with Gomez and Morticia Adams.
Hmm.
Both of them
No, why not?
as
Of
a
course.
couple. Like, yeah,
Hmm.
individually as a couple, yeah. So, so that's it's on brand, and well,
Definitely.
and with that, I will kick it down over to Deuce.
Howdy, everybody. I'm the Deuce. I am here fulfilling 50% by quantity of USP's Kevin ratio, 60% by volume. I'll be playing Gator Man, part man, part Gator. He's very simple, but God bless the little tyke. And his celebrity crush is the lovely, incomparable, the absolutely, she's a national treasure. It's Miss Dolly Parton. She's a working girl. She's absolutely gorgeous. But when her community needed her, she was there. He respects it. So, with that being said, we'll pass it back to Alex.
I love that for Gator Man.
Working 9 to 5.
Yes, I want to see him
Mhm.
singing that song while he's cooking next time.
Wagging his tail to the beat.
Sometimes you can't just pour yourself a cup of ambition.
Somebody
Oh,
goes
right.
into the kitchen after Gator Man's done with that.
Store-bought
it's
is
completely
just fine.
Store-bought
Store-bought.
ambition.
Store bought is not just fine. You make it at home and make it with a little bit of love. They know what you mean.
Man, Walmart sold me my ambition. I don't feel so good.
Hmm.
I mean, Arctic Fox wouldn't have a celebrity crush.
Himself.
Probably, yeah.
Oh, come on. We know his celebrity crush is Mortis. We watched The Bachelor.
Everyone's celebrity crush is Mortis. He's actually people's sexiest man of the year this year in the Freedomverse.
Not even.
I mean, Paul Rudd can get it. Always. It's a good choice.
Yeah.
Paul Rudd can get it.
Yeah, and I think with that, without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started. That was a much less controversial topic than last week's topic.
I'm glad I'm still here after last week.
I'm glad you're still here after last week.
That's only because Miss Violent isn't in chat yet, Deuce.
That's fair.
Means I'm getting a refund on my assassins because I couldn't pull through.
Still here for you, Hot Dog Brigade.
Anyway, last time on Freedom League Dark in the Multiverse of the Master Mage, our heroes split up to deal with two very incredibly difficult situations, deciding to go forth and rescue Seven from Adrian Eldritch and rescue the Anti-Earth Freedom League from Praetrix and the Tyranny Syndicate, with half of our team going in both directions. Resonant, Gator Man, and Nick Mortis headed off to Tyranny Tower, where they
Nope.
were able...
Centuria.
Centuria. That's right, Gator Man got beat up, I forgot. Resident Centuria and Nick Mortis headed off to stop the Praetrix because we needed a Centuria to fight Praetrix because she was really fucking tough until she wasn't.
She wasn't that bad.
She intended to be much worse.
Lies!
But there, the heroes were able to prevent the execution of the heroes of this dimension, with Mortis taking a bunch of people into the crossroads, while Centuria kept Praetrix busy, and Resonant worked on the branding crystal. They were able to brand Praetrix, rendering her much less powerful, and were able to defeat the other members of the Tyranny Syndicate until Evil Jason shot Evil Centuria in the head and blew up Tyranny City. Our heroes were able to do a little bit to save the residents of Tyranny City, but they do have some refugees on their hands. That was where it went well. In the other dimension, things did not go so well. Our heroes faced off against Eldritch, who had 7 in his grasp. They were able to rescue 7 from his grasp, but that was about the only successful thing they accomplished.
Oh my god.
I feel like that was our mission. Successful mission.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, nobody
And
died.
return safely. That was per Centuria. The one that will literally turn you all into paste, except for Mortis, because he's intangible when you get back.
We had some fried Gator Man. We had some very fried Bowman, who was very, very tough and pernicious, which was great. And Mortis had a great critical hit that didn't really go through, which was really upsetting. Thanks, Roll20. And Eldritch informed them that he did his job as a distraction and left without murdering any of them, which was kind of him. Afterwards, they licked their wounds, they returned, but Bowman headed off to go check on the Nerian Nexus because somebody said something was bad there. And sure enough, when Bowman arrived, he found Sophie 7 from Anti-Earth dead at the feet of Sala, who was drinking tea and recovering from a very terrible experience. With her heart seemingly removed and in the grasp of Adrian Eldritch somewhere else in the universe. So, everybody comes together. Bowman, you only have a few moments before the other members of the team who are on their way to the Nexus arrive. I'll start the session with everybody sort of coming in together.
Yeah, I mean, Bowman's first instinct would be to... I mean, after seeing Eldritch, knowing that the anti-Eldritch that we saw was there providing a distraction, he's going to draw his weapon, he's going to pull out an arrow, and he's going to look to Sala asking, when did this happen? Did he already leave?
He's already gone.
Are there any other survivors?
And he sort of looks up. Sorry, I'm a little shaken. The other heroes weren't here when this happened. There were several emergency broadcasts from their home dimensions, and they retreated there to handle the situation, promising to return.
Right. I'm gonna sweep the building and make sure we're still clear. Everyone else will be here in a moment.
Yeah, he sort of grimly chuckles when you say you're going to sweep the Nerian Nexus.
Someone's not going to answer that.
As the caretaker of the house, I can sense no one else is here. Although I appreciate you wanting to check an infinite building for intruders.
Well, just make sure he didn't leave anything behind then.
He headed off in the direction of the orrery.
Then I don't have to look through the entire infinite building. I'll take a look over there.
I'll wait here until the others arrive.
And yeah, Bowman's going to focus on the job and not on Auntie Sophie or his injuries, and just head to the orrery.
Excellent. Bowman, you head that way. It looks like there wasn't any signs of struggle. There's no like scorch marks or anything. It looks like Adrian came through here unopposed. Entered into the orrery, and you do notice that one of the planets, one of the glass planets, is still glowing slightly with light reddish blue tinge.
Which one is it?
It looks like it is the Earth that you know to be the Marvel Universe.
Ooh.
Earth 6175.
Okay.
Because the characters from the Marvel Universe probably wouldn't call it the Marvel Universe.
He'll probably want to double check the room anyways, but I'm sure there's nothing that he can find.
You can give me an investigation check or a perception check.
Investigate. 32.
Checking around, you can tell that a lot of people were here earlier today, but they left in a hurry. You can sort of see that the lab station that the various mystics had set up, sort of the combination lab, workshop, forge sort of deal, library. There are books open. It looks like there may have been something boiling on a couple of the different chemistry vats, but it looks like whatever was happening, everybody who was here left in a hurry.
Probably the proper lab safety to turn off that boiler or whatever it's doing.
It's probably a good idea.
And then he will try to think of anything else but what he saw in the hall. Probably try to strategize like how to catch up with Adrian at this point while he waits for the rest of the team to arrive.
Yep. I will say with a 32, you also notice that the anti-Earth globe, it was sort of semi-transparent gold glass. The whole globe has fused into straight gold at this point.
So it's like solid instead of...
Yeah, instead of being semi-transparent.
Okay. What do I know what that means?
Give me an expertise magic check.
Oh, yeah. 23.
That's not bad for Bowman. Sort of consulting what you remember overhearing over the last couple of weeks as people have been setting up this headquarters, you're pretty sure that means whatever crisis that was going on there has been resolved.
Well, that's a good sign for the other team. Yeah, he's going to wait in this room for everyone else to arrive. He's not in a rush to go back out there.
Awesome. Everybody else arrives shortly after that.
We arrive into the orrery or down in where Sala is, because sounds like Bowman ended up where Sala was, and not going through the orrery first to get there.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember who's taking you here. Is that Mortis?
Yes.
It's up to Mortis if you want to appear in the orrery or if you want to appear in the foyer.
Well, with the team split, did Mortis come and get us off of Anti-Earth Prime before he jetted off here, or did we have to?
I think he
Yeah,
would have
they're
had to.
Mortis.
I think Mortis is the Uber for this
Mhm.
situation.
Wrong app.
Lift?
Wrong app. Who dis?
Spirit?
Oh no. No frills.
When they pull up wherever they are, Centuria is going to do a quick scan of her teammates and make sure nobody is dead.
Nobody is
Right
dead.
here.
Gatorman is a slightly darker shade of green than you remember him being.
Is this are you our Gator Man?
Yeah, it was a little warm. I'm feeling fine. It's okay.
What happened? You two, where's Bowman?
Yes, where's Fletch?
So
Where's
about
Seven?
that. Seven's fine.
Okay, then
But
what
Fletch
happened?
No, he's fine. I think.
isn't?
I don't
I
know.
expect-
He
if-
wasn't
if-
around when I woke up.
If Seven's okay, why didn't you guys come back earlier?
Look,
You
more
didn't.
than what?
You stayed and fought Eldritch, didn't you?
No.
He was attacking, and then he was getting ready to throw her into some giant pit of glowing green goo. And then we tried to get her out of there, and then we got jumped by him. So we defended ourselves.
And you said you managed to get Seven, and you guys look like this.
Yes.
Is that That bad.
Yes.
Yeah. That was only one of them, and that wasn't ours.
Ours.
The one from Anti-Earth?
Yeah. The other one wasn't there, and then he kind of blew us up, and I protected Seven, so she's fine. Seemed to be when I woke up.
Are we in the room with Sophie?
I'm assuming this is he's picking us up before we get to
Ah.
the Nexus.
I was like, are we just having this conversation with a dead body right there, and like we're just not talking about it?
No. Because
Oh,
as soon as we show up in the Nexus and Resident sees Sala, that's where she's going. So
So yeah, we should get back and catch up with Bowman.
did you send him back already?
7 sent him back.
Where is 7?
She's at the doctor, a doctor, in her
The
realm.
doctor.
I don't know how many are there. Look, this dimension traveling thing's new to me. I'm sorry.
There was a healer when we were there as kids. Is that where you took her?
Yes.
So we know she's good at her craft. Okay.
And then
Let's
she
get-
sent Bowman to the Nexus because that's where Adrian fled to. Well, the other Adrian fled to.
Well, we better get back. If he's still there, Bowman's in danger. The rest of them are in danger.
To the Nexus we go!
Meanwhile, at the Hall of Doom.
Doombot.
Oh, sing the song. Doom, 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 doom.
Awesome. All of you do appear in Mortis. Where do you want to drop everybody in the globe chamber, or the ossuary, or the front door?
I'm gonna go to the Globe Chamber because that's where we.
Or out from.
That's where isn't that where we're supposed to go in and out? That
It's our base
What's
of
this for?
operations.
what's this front door shit? Yeah.
So I forgot that Bowman was sent to the Nexus by 7, who was coming from the same universe, despite it being an adjacent. It's silly. I don't know.
This is
Coming
this
from
is your-
Anti-Earth, you have to come through the globe chamber.
This is
And I
your
was-
tangled web you've woven, Alex.
I've done this.
She
Now you're
sent
thinking
him,
with portals.
She sent Bowman to where he needed to be.
Yes. Okay, so you guys, Bowman, the solid globe Earth of Anti-Earth Prime, begins to glow with a soft silver light. God
Mercurial?
damn it, why is English so hard? I do this for a
Cerulean.
living.
It's really.
I feel like we're all just like stumbling around right now.
It's the wrong setting for cerulean,
I
Jonesy.
know. I know.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
We're not. Well, we haven't gone there yet. So
Nothing
yes,
is the
but
wrong
no.
setting.
Every setting is the wrong setting. But you all come out of the Anti-Earth globe to find Bowman waiting.
Fletch. Oh my God, what happened? Wait. I know what happened. You got beat up, just like those guys did. You okay?
I'm fine. We encountered the anti-Earth Eldritch. When I got here, I saw Sala and Sophie from the anti-Earth. She's gone. Our Adrian took her heart and left.
What?
The other heroes in the Nexus were called away for their own emergencies. As far as I can tell, this is the Earth that Adrian went to, and he'll gesture towards the glowing Earth on the map.
But why would he need her heart? What?
Resonant takes off running out of the room to stops about halfway. Where is Sala?
In the foyer.
And she turns and takes off running to the foyer.
Centuria will put an arm around Bowman and not squeeze him too tight.
Cracked ribs.
I'm fine. We need to get moving as soon as possible.
Okay. Are you okay going back in there? Would you rather stay here?
I'm where I need to be. I need to fix my equipment. I'll be there in a moment.
You don't have to, but we'll come back here and meet you if we don't meet us in there. And then she'll head out the door after with like a backward glance at Bowman.
He's staring daggers at Earth 617.
Resonant, you're the first one to get to the foyer where you still see Saul is there. He stood up at this point, dusted himself off a little bit, and he is in the process of covering up Sophie.
Sala, are you okay?
No.
Yeah, your
Should be
emotions are all over the place. Here, let me help you with that.
I wasn't expecting to ever see her again. But I understand that this is not the Seven who lived here once. The Sophie who lived here once.
No,
The
she
Sophie
was.
who lived here once.
No, she came from Anti-Earth. I'm sorry we couldn't stop him. I'm sorry you had to see this.
It wasn't her he had come for.
What do you mean?
He had originally come for me.
She puts her hands over her mouth in that like kind of gasping, oh my god type of positioning, and then she walks over and just wraps him in the biggest hug she can give him.
I don't know what has happened to him, but we have to stop him. The Adrian I know would never have done this kind of magic.
Did he say anything to you?
No, he had sort of a grim look on his face until Miss Sophie here interfered. She attacked him, and he said that she would be a fine substitution. With everything, she survived.
That seems really weird with
Turned
what
the
we
house
know.
on us.
How?
He had some sort of magics seated deep inside the Nexus that allowed him to take control back from the caretaker.
As long as he's been planning things, we didn't think. He's more than one step ahead of us. He's leagues ahead of us.
Please tell me that you found some idea of what he's trying to do.
He's trying to collapse everything down to one universe. There's something with the Centurion. Was that the creator of the world? That didn't seem right. That it was.
No, that's Centuria's dad.
I know. That's why I was saying that didn't seem right, but that's what I thought you had said earlier.
Oh, Centurion Prime. Yes.
Centurion Prime.
Superboy Prime. Yep.
Yeah. If everything gets broken down to one, if everything gets brought back to one instance, he might be able to get at the power of creation that Centurion Prime used to create the multiverse in the first place.
And he is looking for the pieces of the Centurion Prime that were dissected and scattered across the multiverse.
as far as we can tell. But this doesn't make sense. The piece that he was supposed to be looking for was an unsullied heart.
The heart of the unspoiled mage.
The heart of the unspoiled mage. With everything Sophie's been through, with everything you've been through, I don't. That doesn't make sense to me.
Everything that we have survived. I can't speak for Sophie, but I think the reason I qualify is because I have endured decades of dark magic and fell circumstances, and I have never lost my spark of hope, my optimism, the
So it's
drive to keep going.
so less about innocence and more about not succumbing to darkness.
Yes, or succumbing to surrender, or the other pieces. We have to find the other pieces.
We know where the other pieces are. We went back to the source.
You spoke with Toman then.
Second time.
Most mortals only get to see him never. To think that you heroes have encountered him twice is, I think it is a fortuitous sign for our mission.
I certainly hope so. We know where Adrian's going. We know every world he's going to. We know what he's looking for, not who has them.
Should we be quiet about some of that, given
Given what Adrian has the house doing.
yes?
She won't mention anything more than that. But if we can't talk here, we're not going to be able to talk anywhere, probably.
I'll talk to Strange about it when he returns. The other portions of the Nexus, this point that it has become, I don't believe Adrian would have sway there. The portions of this space that were once the Sanctum or were once the Tower of Fate, perhaps.
Okay.
We'll see about making a room of a conspiracy.
Room of requirement.
But the requirement is conspiracy.
It works.
Is Sophie is still there?
There's no answer from beyond the grave. Give me a perception check, Mortis.
Or reception. That's a whopping 15.
With the 15, you think you sense some spectral energy leaving this room and heading in the direction of the ossuary. The orrery, not the ossuary. That's where the bones go.
I will attempt to follow it.
Mortis following it, you think that you see lingering just outside the door of the orrery. You see Sophie's ghost watching Fletch from the doorway.
I'm gonna walk over to her and do you want to see him?
Is that allowed?
I can make it happen.
Do you think it would be better or worse for him?
I don't know, honestly.
Give me an insight check, Mortis.
Insight. I really should spend some of those PowerPoints I got. Holy smoke, 25.
That's pretty good, Mortis.
For Mortis, that's amazing.
You can tell that she is very much fighting the selfish urge to say what she wants to say to him, but trying to weigh that against the I don't want to cause him any more psychic anguish than I've already caused him because I care about him and his well-being.
Yeah, but I saw how they were looking at each other on the other Earth, and
Yeah.
I also saw that Nick was looking at me, so
She sort of looks at you and she nods that she would like to see Fletch one last time.
and with that, I will stay where I am at, but I'm going to kind of focus and concentrate. And I have the ability Make Manifest, which basically leads some of the underworld into the physical world, so others can hear and see ghosts. I'm just gonna kind of push that so it stretches out to the other room and lead the two of them alone.
You're going to haunt Bowman. And Bowman, you feel chill pass over your spine as the room gets a little colder and a little darker. And Sophie will say to Bowman, "Hey, Fletch."
Yeah, he'll turn around, surprised for a moment, but then pretty quickly put it together.
Looks like it didn't work out for me.
No, I'm sorry.
You don't have to be sorry. I was trying to save you, you dummy.
Well, that doesn't exact. I'm sorry because of that. Because of the fact that it was the Adrian that we were supposed to be dealing with who was the one that killed you.
Much like you, I was the one who decided to go off on my own and try to solve the problem.
Yeah, I guess we both have bad habits.
But I don't hold you responsible for what Adrian did. And I don't want you to hold you responsible for what Adrian did.
Trying not to, but
No, you're not.
no, I'm not.
You want to blame yourself for all of this, but the bad guy made a choice, and I made a choice, and I wish it had turned out differently.
It just isn't fair to you. I mean, your world needed you more than I did, and now, because of me, you've given up everything.
Because of you and your friends, my world is going to survive and be a much better place.
But you won't get to see it.
I don't like to outstay my welcome. Please just do me a favor and try to forgive yourself sometimes.
I'm still working on that.
And she's going to walk over and try to give you a ghost hug.
I mean, he will try to return it. I don't know how physically solid she's going to be, but he will try to put his hand to her cheek at least.
I think Mortis can make that happen. So it will connect. And she will look up at you with her big dark eyes. She'll say, maybe next lifetime, Fletcher Beaumont.
Yeah, maybe then we'll have more time.
And she will turn into twinkling stardust and fly up into the sky.
And Bowman will let out a long sigh, probably letting that fatigue he's still feeling show on his face.
What's everybody else doing?
Crying.
Yeah. I mean, I'm down there. I'm downstairs with Sala, so I didn't get to see that or hear that.
Oof, Cat did not need that today.
Will's here.
Oh, he's...
I will.
Hey, Will, is Mortis still there, or did you leave completely?
I had to. I'm outside the room, but I'm still out in the hallway.
Okay.
So I overheard everything.
I'm not gonna say that Gator Man didn't stay in the orrery and then awkwardly try and find a corner to hide in. Because he didn't follow anybody, just went, I'm not gonna say anything.
I
What
just,
floor?
you're doing the awkward Drax standing there.
Like, oh, look, a floor. That's nice. This corner looks great.
I was shelving the books. They were out of order.
Yep, nothing happened behind me.
Just one long crunch as he's snacking in the corner.
Yeah, if Bowman sees that Mortis is at least like at the near the doorway, he will look towards him and say, "Thanks for doing that. I appreciate it."
Sorry, I couldn't do more.
We'll make up for it when we catch him. Is Seven still okay? She sent me away. I didn't know if anything happened to her after that.
We got her someplace safe. Yes.
Okay. All right, then we need to get the team together and get anything else we need before we go.
Mortis, you have magic senses, right?
Yeah.
Give me a perception check. Gatorman, you don't need to make a perception check as you smell smoke coming from the globe for Earth 61675. 6175. That's it.
Lucky 13.
With a 13, you do get a mystical sense, but it's not fast enough to react to what's happening. The globe for the Marvel Universe flashes red and blue, and there's a smell of smoke to Gatorman, and there is a pop as Doctor Strange comes flying out of the orb, slamming into the far wall, smoking.
Thought I smelled smoke, but didn't expect that.
There's smoke. There's Strange.
Oh, very funny. Mortis, good joke.
Go help him up.
Click on my comm. Team, we have a situation.
Another one?
Resident will look to Sala. You gonna be okay? I should probably check that.
Yes. I will have one of the attendants take Sophie's body down to the crypt.
Okay. We'll talk when I get back. If I come back this time. I'll be back. We'll talk.
Yes.
And she'll head off.
I'll put some tea on.
Alex, while everyone's coming together, can I take a couple moments here to try and scent out how long Eldritch was here and what he's messed with? I'm just to see if the thought being he's had some time here, so may have some idea of our plan, but make sure he didn't mess with, or what in particular he messed with while he was here.
Sure.
The orrery.
Give me a perception check.
Yeah.
Since you've got your I could sniff across dimensions thing.
Like sniff through time. 21.
The Gator Man with a 21. Also, I'm going to give everybody a hero point for role playing tonight because my face hurts again, but not for the same reason it hurt on Saturday. With a 21, you can definitely smell that Adrian was in this chamber for a little bit of time. Following his smell around the room, you can tell that he interacted with 10 of the globes. Specifically, the 10 that you know to be a part of his path.
Gotcha. Sounds good.
But you're not sure exactly what he did to them. You just know that he interacted with them in some manner.
Yeah, I'm not going to get more than that. Absolutely. But
he put his hands on them. At the very least, you could tell that.
Which actually, I'll let Mortis know, since he had a hand in creating all this, that he had some time, and looks like at least the path still seems to be the same. He's messed with these in some fashion. I don't know what. But we may have more traps to deal with. I'm sure you're probably thinking the same thing.
Morris keeps glancing back towards the door, waiting for Resident Morris to show up.
Yeah, Resident will walk through. She's holding her arms. Her shoulders are kind of slumped forward. She's definitely head down, lost in thought, trying to figure out a couple of things on her mind, and kind of sees everyone staring at the doorway, waiting for her to come in.
And
What's
Dr.
going on?
Strange will stand up and dust himself off. Oh, good to see that you all made it back from your expedition to Anti-Earth. Something terrible has happened.
You mean besides what happened here?
Something terrible happened here.
Adrian got one of the pieces that he needed.
I think we need to have a confab in the mess room.
Is that part of the Nexus that wasn't part of the Nexus? Because apparently Adrian still had sway over parts of the house.
Well then, I propose we have this discussion in the kitchen of the Sanctum Sanctorum.
What about the others?
The other universes, I haven't heard anything from them. I'm the first one back.
Okay. Yeah, you need to fill us in on what happened.
And, yes, please, come. We can talk and walk.
Probably best not to talk to her there.
Indeed. And he'll open a portal into the kitchen of the Sanctum Sanctorum. Shall I leave a viewport open to the orrery just in case more, if anyone survived what happened on their worlds, come through?
As long as it's only viewing and no voice?
Yes, I can do a visual only representation.
Okay.
And I'll let Sala know as well.
Sala's not in the best of positions at the moment.
Fair. Well, come along. And he will go into the kitchen. The cloak of levitation will fly off and head off to go grab a couple of things to bring over to the table. Most notably an ice pack and a first aid kit. While you were gone, the rest of us were working on trying to come up with a way to track Eldritch's movings through the multiverse, and we uncovered an interesting tidbit. It seems 5 Eldritches have left their universes in the last couple of days. We noticed that 3 of them headed off in the direction of Anti-Earth, but we were unable to send a message of warning to you. And 2 more headed off to my dimension, Earth 6175, and 1 headed off to the where the Minerva was from, Earth 1991.
Wait, you said 3 of them went to Anti-Earth after we already headed there?
Indeed.
That doesn't make sense. They had already done what they were. They'd already done everything that they were doing there by the time we got there.
Maybe some others arrived before that, before we started tracking the movements?
We know 3 of them were on Anti-Earth Prime.
We have one.
Anti-Earth Adrian, our Adrian, and 1 from a universe of toys. And he was a pawn. They sacrificed him to Toman the Archivist.
Intriguing. So the Adrian Eldritch of Earth 323 is dead then?
Look at Mortis. I don't remember. I remember we talked to him. I didn't remember if you brought him back.
We have him.
Yeah, you guys do have him. You brought him back.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
Hello.
Centuria looks down at her pocket.
Yes.
He's trying to get out. He's not quite as tall as the Dave action figure.
I'm not dead yet. I feel, well, not happy, but...
I need my Cloak of Levitation expansion toy.
Expansion.
Intriguing, strange says, but that's not exactly what I need to tell you all about. There was an Eldritch who went to my universe, and something terrible has happened.
Okay.
I don't think exactly what he was intending to happen, but the Eldritch of Earth
Checks notes.
1107. I got 10 Earths with different numbers over here. The Eldritch of Earth 1107, he arrived in our universe and was captured by one of our villains, Dr. Doom. It's a little on the nose, I suppose, but the Eldritch of Earth 1107 was attempting to do a ritual to awaken the Vishanti, and Doom interfered in that ritual, causing catastrophic feedback. Instead of the Vishanti rising, Chthon emerged from the darkness. And now, Doom is empowered with the blessings of the Vishanti, and of trying to oppose Chthon, they've both sort of divided the world amongst themselves. Most of our heroes are dead or in the service of Doom.
Oh.
Eyes of Vishanti. Right, Alex?
The Eyes of Agamotto.
Eyes of Agamotto. Adrian was after the Eyes of Agamotto on your world.
Eyes plural?
Yes.
You're sure of that?
Straight from the archive.
Well, I have the Eye of Agamotto, and he sort of gestures to the necklace around his neck.
What happened to the other one?
There's only ever been one Eye of Agamotto. It's a relic. It's an artifact empowered by the divine being, the Vishanti of Agamotto.
Unless it's something specific and not a relic if it's something of the Vishanti and not something imbued with power from them?
They'd have to be mad to try to rip the eyes out of Agamotto himself. That would be.
Adrian's trying to collapse the entire multiverse down to a singular point to steal the energy of creation.
Oh, he is mad. Okay. Um. Well, if he was attempting, that would explain why he was trying to awaken the Vishanti. They've been dormant for millennia in our dimension. They are the gods of magic. Agamotto is one of them. And if Doom's interference prevented the awakening of Agamotto,
But then to set your world right, we leave Adrian the ability to take those.
yes. Resonant and Mortis, I would request your help in a scrying spell.
Yeah, of course.
Doom's new abilities have to come from somewhere, and if what I think is the case happened, we're all going to be in a lot of trouble.
If he's as powerful as you say, isn't this going to turn his attention onto us?
The thing about Doom is that he barely notices those beneath his gaze. One of those overconfident and high and mighty types. And he's very distracted with his war with Chthon.
Still, we'll want to build some subtlety into the ritual.
Indeed. And let me look up the ritual rules for Eminem. Discuss amongst yourselves while I pull up the deluxe here separate.
I should really spend some of my power points. Get some of my skills to go up.
But we know we know what we got from the book. We don't know if we got anything more than that from our last escapade.
Well, I haven't spent any in quite a while, so
Uh,
I have enough points to pull a Jean Grey. So Phoenix. Oh no, not quite. But we used to refer to that as a radiation accident in my old school game way back when, where you randomly like, oh look, I haven't spent power points in forever.
What happened? I left the microwave open while I used it.
And the perfect example was that it's the Jean Grey effect. Like, look, I'm Jean Grey. I have telekinesis. Look, I'm Phoenix.
I have all these other powers to deal with fire.
I mean, you can always just be bit by a radioactive gator.
Easy.
Easy.
Just gotta find a radioactive gator. Step one.
And then hope that it just doesn't give you cancer.
And hope that he doesn't literally eat you.
Yes, that too.
Just enough radioactivity.
Before the ritual starts, Resonant's gonna walk over to Bowman. She's gonna stand in front of him. He's probably not gonna want to look her in the eyes, and she's just gonna enfold him in a giant hug when he doesn't move for like 5 seconds.
He will probably take a moment, but he's still got like the bow in one hand, but he'll put his other arm around her, probably leaning on her a bit more than expected.
I know you're not okay. And it's okay. But are you gonna be all right to keep moving?
I have to be. We've got too much to do.
You don't have to be. Having to be implies that you're moving forward, holding on to things that are going to weigh you down. Being able to move forward means you know how to lay that aside to move forward, to let it be a source to fuel you, and not because of revenge, because you're honoring the memory of someone who sacrificed themselves. Do you understand the difference?
I do. And I get what you're saying. I don't really have time for anything else. So
There's always a little bit of time. Take what you can now. Let us handle this. Rest. You more than the rest of us need it.
I'll be a minute then. But if we're ready to go, then
We'll get you. Trust me. We won't leave you behind.
he will give her a nod and then head off to feel his feelings for a bit.
Not my feelings.
Did we do enough scene chewing, Alex, or do you need more?
Yes, no, you have chewed enough of the scenery.
No.
I'm just making sure.
So this scrying ritual is going to be a remote sensing 20, affecting vision and hearing, which means that it costs 60 points. And the way inventing works in some masterminds is the design portion of any ritual takes 4 hours per power point of the ritual's cost. So it'll take 240 hours to design the ritual, and it takes 10 minutes per point of the ritual's cost to cast the ritual. So it will take 600 minutes to do the ritual.
So 10 days to prep the ritual.
For a 10-hour ritual.
For a 10-hour ritual.
If anybody has quickness, that can remove some of that.
Nope. Our quickness is on another journey.
He's overdrive no more ain't it over there.
Mm-hmm. He's on a walkabout.
Doctor Strange will be there to help. Anybody who is there to help will obviously remove some of the time ranks of how long it takes.
Well, we have Sala.
Yeah, you have Sala, you have Strange, Mortis, Resonant.
Can we use the house?
I'm down to allow the house to basically give you a bonus for...
I mean, the house is a big old conduit of magic, so...
It is, and it loves casting spells. I'll say with the 5 of you counting the house... Yeah, that's right. The 5 of you counting the house, that will divide the time by a fifth.
By a fifth?
It'll divide the time by 5.
Okay, so...
2 days instead of...
2 days and 5 hours.
2 days and 2 hours.
Yeah, 2 days and 2 hours. Sorry.
Where's the math whiz now, Andy?
In another castle.
Yeah, Miss Violent, I've been running into that with my inventing character in our podcast. I'm going to spend 14 rounds making this catapult. Don't beat the bad guy while I'm doing it, please.
Okay, so what do you need from us besides expertise magic rolls, I'm assuming?
I mean, that's the main thing I need is expertise magic rolls.
Okie doke.
And the DC is Oh boy. Okay.
Any chance we can actually get there?
Rules is written the DC is a 70, so we're gonna cut
Jeebus.
that down a little bit.
I think we could do it.
Somebody might wanna revisit those rules. Just saying.
I got faith in Resonant.
Yeah, there's
Ah.
I'll make a note to look at those.
If anyone could do it.
I'm just
No,
saying.
yes, if anyone could do it, yeah, but no, not even close. Best I could get with no extra bonuses is a 43.
With that attitude.
No, I was just referring to reviewing the rules actually as well.
Mhm. No, that's fair.
No worries. Go ahead and roll, and I'll let you know if you succeed.
Okay.
I'll give you a flat plus 15 for Mortis, Strange, Sala in the house.
Okay. I will bake that into my roll. Wow, that's like I've never seen a skill number that high. 54.
That's pretty high. That's a big number.
That is a very big number.
With a 54, you were definitely able to conjure this ritual over the next couple of days. What's everybody else doing while the ritual is happening?
Centuria is, well, one, she's checking on her Davray, and she's also flying around, and the tiniest baby villains she's just like decimating, taking
Smiting.
out her her anger issues, because she's, while they all made it home, like, she knows that there's so much shit coming, and how Bowman isn't happy with the outcome of how everything happened, and now Bowman's all depressed, and she's just not having a good time. So she's like, everybody is just like, holy shit, Centuria is rampaging a little bit.
You can't stop me, Centuria. I'm the rubber bandit.
Oh God.
I'm rubber, you're glue. Nothing that you'll do sticks to me, too.
Slams her foot into his face. And he ricochets in between the buildings.
Ah! Who else is lame? Sandstone catches it one more time from Centuria.
One more one shot. Let's go.
Like she's on the way to something else. Doesn't even slow down.
There's just one very scared shoplifter named Terry. Just got a candy bar. I'm sorry.
I'm 12.
Oh no.
I didn't mean to steal that underwear.
I just really like Daedalus. I thought they looked cool.
Oh my god.
They're in universe.
Anyway,
Centuria's on the warpath.
she'll occasionally also be bringing food to the people building the ritual, and Bowman should like crack open his door and just like slide food in.
What's Gatorman up to?
He's a little proud because he's taught Centuria that when people feel bad, just bring him some food and let him figure it out. But he's gonna take some time to try and help get a gravesite and a coffin for Sophie, because Bowman's not in the mind to do it, and if he's gonna get in the right headspace, help give him something to say goodbye to. So we're not going to bother Bowman with it. We'll just handle what prep he can do.
I love that for you. So Gatorman, you're easily able to get that together. You also get a phone call, Gatorman?
I got a phone. Hello.
Is this Xavier Hawkins?
Yeah.
This is Aegis Agent Dominic. I'm here with a message from your mother.
Law officer.
She's awake.
She's awake.
What message did she send?
Just that she hopes you know that she loves you and she's okay. And she is under our custody. That message isn't from her, it's from me.
Good luck. She's, well, if you mess up, she'll hit you with a spoon and that thing hurts. Tell her her boy will come see her soon. And I love her.
I'll let her know.
Thanks, Dominic.
Yep, keep saving the world.
I'm just getting blown up. Don't tell her that. But yeah.
I'll leave that out of the sit rep. And he hangs up. The Gator Mom. Yeah, there's a Gator Mom.
I'm gonna continue to go about stuff with a little bit toothier grin.
Excellent. Gatorman, the plot you're able to find is going to be over on Lantern Hill. That's sort of where they bury magic users in this town.
No problem. Like I said, don't worry with the rest of them with it. I'll take care of the rest.
Awesome. Mortis, you do get a text back from Nick? What did you text him?
I just was, checking in and just kind of making sure he was okay. I mean, I may have been feeling a little, emotional after, that. So yeah, I just sent him a quick picture and said, I love you, and I'll be seeing you soon.
He sends you another picture back of him smiling, holding up paint swatches. Says, what do you think? Which colors? I mean, I know you want to do black and white, but what shade of gray?
I don't know. I will text him back. We should go with the blue, the one that you like.
He texted you back and said, did something bad happen?
The only way you're gonna pick something I like.
Yeah.
I feel
Ouch.
called out.
That's how particular you are with art and color.
There's a lot going on. I'll just leave it at that. I won't share any more things about that.
Well, I'm here if you need anything. Also, Kyle wants to know if you want the venue to be in this dimension or in another dimension.
I love that question so much.
The sad thing is we're just trying to figure out, will this dimension still be here? Mortis will respond back that he it needs to be here. I don't have enough dimension travel miles to host everyone.
Sounds good. I'll let everybody know. Does mean that we're going to have to include some of those rings that turn ghosts physical as party favors, because most of my friends are ghosts.
Will do, and then I'll tell. Oh, the others need me. I need to, but I'll keep in touch as best I can.
Okay, I'll keep working with Kyle and the wedding planner. Bowman, what are you doing?
Okay, well, I actually did have a PowerPoint thing that I wanted to do, so I guess now is a good time. So Bowman's going to, in whatever room he has, he's going to probably focus on his work for the first day, fixing his equipment after getting blasted with magic a billion times. Restringing the bow, restocking his arrows. He'll start working on his own personal tech projects after he's thinking back to like how he could have done some things differently on Anti-Earth, especially how he got so technologically outplayed by Anti-Jason. So he's gonna upgrade his wrist computer a bit to help him out with his hacking skills. But that's mostly like the first day. He's just sort of alone in his room, focusing on several different things. But I think towards the end of the second day, after Gatorman has sort of set up a place for Sophie, he will be there in the evening, probably in Fletch Beaumont form. I feel like it might give something away if he's there as Bowman, just in case someone sees him. And Fletch Beaumont's just a guy. And yeah, he will spend some time there in the last evening of this couple of days. But at the end of it, he'll leave trying to hold on to like the happy memories of that short time he had with this Auntie Sophie.
Bowman, as you do arrive at the cemetery, it is raining. It's nighttime, you said, as you were coming?
I mean, yeah, it would have to be. What else would it be?
There is somebody standing in front of the headstone dressed in a black coat with a black umbrella.
He will walk up behind them, probably just reflexively being silent, and say, hi, did you know her?
Sophie turns around.
I knew that bitch.
Yep. Why do you think I posted what I did?
I hope not. She sort of looks down. Is there
Great,
something I
it's
should
you.
know about?
There's nothing you need to know about.
You planning on putting me down here?
Actually, I haven't thought about you at all. What are you doing here?
Somebody puts a tombstone up in a cemetery in Freedom City with my name on it. I'm going to come and see what's going on.
Well, you've seen.
And she sort of nods and says, we should probably stop running into each other like this.
That would be my preference.
But when you need my help with the Adrian situation, you know where to find me.
I can assure you we won't.
I'm sure you will. If there's anybody who has been planning to kill Adrian longer, I don't know them.
And Bowman's eyes will narrow because he had not thought of that. And it's going to be in his head now. You will give her the squint, even though he's not wearing the mask.
That's less scary when you're wearing your readers, Fletch.
Your readers.
Yeah, I mean, glasses, perfect secret identity, right?
Yeah.
But
He'll respond to that.
Oh. But Sala knows how to get a hold of me when you need my help.
Sophie, I think you should go. Before I give you something to be scared of.
That has an effect on her. Give me an insight check.
Ooh. 18.
Oh, she's
I'm
probably
actually super curious about this, so I'm willing to spend a hero point on it if that's
okay. She's harder to read than an 18.
okay. I really want to know.
She
Hopefully
pretended
we
to like you for a really long time.
hopefully we don't die during this 23.
23. You get the impression that she thought this conversation was not as serious as you just made it. And that she has sort of internalized how upset and afraid you are. And she walks away without giving you a snide remark.
All right. And he will watch her go, both with a mix of, I guess, frustration and anger at seeing Sophie again, and a small hint of relief that even though it's her, he's not going to get another Sophie killed.
Today.
Wow.
Darn it, brain.
Yet another Sophie.
Yikes. Sophie will remember that.
The Telltale
Oh,
Games
man.
version.
Legion of undead Sophies.
Resident, is there anything fun you want to do while you're doing your ritual?
I mean, I probably cannot do much more than focus on the ritual. I seem to be a big focal point of this. And I chewed the scenery, so.
All right, well, with the ritual underway and Fletch Beaumont crying in the rain, I think that is probably a good point to take our quick break. We're going to get up, stretch our legs, grab a drink, grab a snack, and we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Frozen base in Canada. Alberta, Canada.
Oh no.
And you pick up, there is an Adrian Eldritch's mystical signature coming from Latveria, and another Adrian Eldritch's mystical signal that is sort of scattered across the entire planet.
Well, Steven, is that what you were hoping to find?
Well, I was hoping to find that the eyes of Agamotto were in Agamotto's head, but this does narrow our search down. Now we just have to find a way to stop God Emperor Doom and pull the eyes out of his head before Adrian Eldritch does.
What's this energy signature? And she'll point to the one in Southeast Asia or Southeast Europe.
Well, that is the Omega Stone.
The what?
What's that?
It's a magical artifact that empowers an avatar of Chthon to the next level of divinity.
So is that's the being that Doom is fighting?
Indeed. And I suspect Wanda must be in possession of the gem at this point.
Who?
A colleague of mine, the Scarlet Witch, although when Chthon arose, she fell under his thrall, and now she is the primary avatar of Chthon that is facing off against Doom. She's an incredibly dangerous sorceress.
That was just what I was going to ask. And you said the other heroes, they're here? In this place called Canada?
There's a Canada in Freedom City.
I don't know that. It's like every Earth has a Canada? Well, maybe.
Ours is called North Montana.
I've never heard of it.
That's where that dry stuff comes from, right?
Lots of planets have.
Oh, you mean Old Finland? Got it.
Yes, the surviving heroes who weren't killed in the initial skirmish with Doom and the Scarlet Witch, have taken refuge here. This facility used to belong to a program called Weapon X.
Are they willing to fight, or are they beaten down?
They are willing to fight. It's just a matter of where to point them. And the knowledge that facing Doom head on at this point is suicide.
Well, we know where we need to go. If we go, what do you guys think?
I have a,
Go ahead.
I have a weird question for Alex.
I have a weird answer.
So we know that according to the setup, there was a big clash between Doom and a bunch of the heroes. I'm assuming in one giant brawl beatdown, right?
Yes.
When I look at that spot where we're scrying, do I see a whole bunch of random souls hanging out?
For a hero point, yes.
Cool. Thanks.
Done.
I'm sure Doom would have eaten those if he had a choice. Or Chthon. Chthon would have eaten those too.
Yeah, probably. But
Turns out Chthon can be full. I simply can't eat another superhero soul, okay? They're so rich.
Oh, but it's wafa thin. It's wafa thin. So what do we think? Can we round up the heroes? Distractionary tactics? Anything they can do to split Doom's attention between Chthon and them should potentially give us an opening?
An opening to do what? Get murdered by Dr. Doom?
We have to get the eyes out of his head before Adrian does.
There has to be a more intelligent way to do this.
I don't
Adrian
see
didn't
you
just
bringing
assault
any
him.
ideas to the table.
I have a couple of ideas. I prefer to allow others to speak before I interfere because I've been told I do that too often.
Well, I mean, Adrian had to get them somehow. Out
There
of
is a
this
spell.
Agamotto.
There is a spell that can send the blessings of the Vishanti back into the nether realm from whence they rest. It's a spell that is contained within the book of the Vishanti. However, I don't know where the book is.
Helpful.
Do you know how to find it?
I have some ideas for how to find it.
But if we send those back, does this Chthon character suddenly not have anyone to stop him, her, it?
The Vishanti are what are supposed to be keeping Chthon at bay, so if the Vishanti return to where they're supposed to be, I suspect they will drag Chthon back into the darkness.
We'd have to be absolutely sure of that before we made a move down this avenue.
and the minute we start that, if we find the book, and the minute we start that spell, you know it's going to get Doom's attention.
Yep,
And possibly Eldritch's attention as well.
most assuredly.
But I know if we go to fight Dr. Doom right now, he's PLX.
What does that mean, Doctor?
It means he will kill us all.
Well, I was hoping to uncover some sort of subtle way of getting at the eyes, but
Yes.
this is... What else? What other idea did you have?
I have another idea that's a bit of a long shot, but there is an artifact in our world called the Time Gem. It is a stone that gives its wielder absolute control over time. If we could find that stone, we could rewind time to the point that this ritual began and ensure that it never does.
Okay.
That would free the Eldritch of 1107, but I know that your
From-
Eldritch has difficulty moving through time.
From the workings I did with Seven when I was learning magic here. Time is a force best left alone, not messed with. Too many unknowns, too many variables spawn 100 different splinters.
Ordinarily, I would agree with you, and I'm sure Dr. Fate would agree with you, but if the idea is to make more multiverse that Adrian has to collapse, I think making fragments might not be so bad.
Would this time gem be less likely to be noticed by Doctor Doom than the Book of Vishanti if we use that spell?
Yes, it would be.
Did
Okay.
3 Adrians go? So wouldn't we bring we're dealing
2.
with 3 of them?
2 went to Earth. 6175.
One went to Earth 6175, one went to Earth 1991.
Oh,
We went
okay.
to anti-Earth.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so just the one.
We could also use the Darkhold to empower Cthon enough that he could overpower Doom. And then we could
That's,
take the eyes and hope for the best.
That sounds like a bad idea. Can we save empowering the clearly evil being for like nothing else works?
It's a sort of a Hail Mary play. If we had somebody really fast, they could probably do it.
Okay. All right. Either one of your plans requires us to know where the items are. Do you think any of the heroes in your world might have that info?
Potentially.
I think that our first stop is Alberta. Let's go talk to your friends. Let them know what we're planning on doing. See who's willing to help.
I think that's the best order of business.
Any objections? Anyone?
No, we do need to get an eye on what's happening to help make a decision. But I will say I'm sure most of them will prefer the option where we rewind time, so none of this ever happened.
I suppose we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. I'm hesitant to that idea. I get what you're saying, Steven. I don't think creating a bunch of extra multiverses is really going to have that much of an impact on what Adrian's trying to do in the long run, especially if they're so new. I would think timelines with a lot of entropy behind them are going to cause him the most problems.
I mean, you give him more universes, he's got more chances to get the eyes from one of the other ones we're not at.
Sala will say that the eyes that Adrian needs are these specific ones.
So he can't go down the rabbit hole of infinite multiverses to find one.
These pieces of Centurion Prime are very unique across the multiverse.
Okay.
We strand that Eldritch in a certain timeline if we use the gem?
For a while, potentially. But he is a master mage. I assume he has the ability to find his way out eventually, but that could buy time if we want to get ahead of him a couple of worlds.
Our enemy would at least be one member down.
If one good thing out of this, your Doom guy at least found a way to capture him for a while. It could be useful to know.
Yeah, if we can get Doom to disclose how he did this, but Doom is rather taciturn. Unless he's declaring his genius.
Sounds like he likes to monologue then.
Occasionally. Especially if Reed Richards is around.
Is that one of the heroes in Alberta?
No, Reed was killed.
We'll see if we can get him talking.
first things first, we need to get there. We need the intel. I can't really do anything else until we know where either one of our targets is and what would keep us from getting them.
Well then, let's go to Alberta.
Does
Strange
it-
will cross his fingers, and
Is it cold there?
it is very cold there.
President
Universe.
goes and grabs a parka from the house.
New universe, new frozen tundra. Great.
At this time, I'm going to be prepared.
Does Gator Man have a coat?
He does not.
Does Gator Man suffer from the cold-blooded of his reptilian heritage, or is he warm-blooded like his human heritage?
He's just very stoic. He's not going to admit the fact he really doesn't like it.
He's lukewarm blooded.
I'll just eat a couple leftovers. It'll warm me right up.
Excellent. Well then, Strange will cross his hands and open a portal. The earth begins to glow and rumble with that red and blue color, and his magic interacts with the orrery, and he is able to bring all of you across with him to Earth 6175. It is incredibly cold where he brings you out, sort of a snow-swept tundra with a small range of rocky hills, into which is built a couple of very scientific, like sci-fi looking buildings. Sort of big steel and concrete structures built directly into the mountainside. You do see several logos on the various walls that say Weapon X. There are deep scratch marks in some of the concrete walls from years of escapes. And as you're approaching, a man in a white and purple coat, wielding a bow and arrow, jumps down and makes contact with Bowman.
Hmm.
Archer to archer.
Strange, who are these people you've found? Hawkeye, this is everyone. Everyone, this is Hawkeye.
I'm resident. I don't think everyone's a really good introduction.
Apologies, this is Resonant and Gator Man, was it? And Centuria and Bowman and Mortis. Bowman, huh?
Hawkeye, huh?
Was Archer taken?
Surprisingly, yes.
I imagine that laugh was actually in character for Centuria. She's like, finally, someone calls him out on it.
Looks over at Bowman. It is a stupid name.
It wasn't my idea.
My superhero name is 70 years old.
They only had like 6 words back then. No.
We continue this inside.
Yeah, if you're here with Strange, you probably check out. You have any idea what happened to our universe?
Yeah, I
Broken.
think so.
Is it your wizard who came through and blew up everything?
No. Not from our dimension, at least.
Sounds like there's a story about that.
Sounds like that's an everyday thing for you. You're rather nonplussed about this whole multiversal thing.
I'm an Avenger. We sort of deal with stuff like this on the regular.
Avenger.
Yeah, it's what we do. We avenge wrongdoings.
Okay.
Well, what's your superhero team name? Goldilocks?
Jeez, I'm very embarrassed about our super team name now. FLD.
What does FLD stand for?
Mind your business.
You remind me of somebody I know. And he's going to turn around and start walking you guys into the Weapon X facility. And he will take you down a ramp that leads to a big set of double steel doors that make a hydraulic noise as they pull back into the walls. And inside you find some people in costumes, as you would expect. There are also other people running around in blue and white uniforms that have this sort of eagle patch on their sleeves. Moving around, setting up computers, setting up weapon emplacements. Hawkeye will lead you through a number of different sort of winding corridors. You can see laboratories, chambers full of tubes, all sorts of different armories and things like that. But he'll take you into a central chamber with a big round table in the center of it that has a big X on the top of it. In this room is a woman in a red, blue, and yellow costume with short-cut blonde hair. A man in a white lab coat who is missing an arm. Another man in a red and purple superhero uniform with a long cape and a helmet. Another guy who is dressed in green and yellow with 4 big metal arms. And a man standing against the wall dressed in yellow and blue spandex with long, sort of spiked up black hair. And next to him is a man in a red and black full bodysuit with 2 swords on his back.
Does Channel handle the snark? I guess we'll find out.
Are these more of your Avengers?
Surprisingly, only 1.5 of them. He sort of looks at Wolverine when he says the 1.5 part.
So I look at the guy who's missing an arm and go, that's kind of mean.
Harsh.
I'm giving Gatorman a hero point.
He's gonna be your new favorite friend, Gator Man. Which is fitting.
And the guy with 1 arm will look up at you, Gatorman, and say, I don't believe that's what Mr. Barton was referring to. I'm Dr. Kurt Connors.
Sorry about that, Gator Man.
Well, I can't really say much. My supervillain Sobriquet is the Lizard, so.
Oh, you're the one that had the other kid scared shitless. Got it.
Oh, you saw Spider-Man.
He thought I was you and jumped in a corner and got scared and then rattled off like 8 other animal people, and I just let him do his thing.
It is
Wait, so does that mean you're a villain?
traditionally, but when the entire universe is at stake, I'm willing to put that aside and lend my scientific mind as it needs to be.
Kind of you.
Same with my colleague Otto Octavius over here. This is Dr. Octopus.
That's a little on the nose.
They must be
You
from
guys
a
are-
universe that doesn't have superhero names that sound like what they are.
Yeah, you guys are really good at names here.
Hey,
It's just most of ours don't have doctorates; they're professors.
You have a Gator Man here, and you're telling me about how I name myself.
We didn't.
No,
Yeah.
He's not with us.
I'm on the work release program too. Yeah.
Oh, another villain. Interesting.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
And,
Wow.
the woman in
Centuria, yeah.
Yeah, the woman in the red, blue, and yellow is gonna come over and say, "That's probably enough of that." I'm Carol. Some people call me Captain Marvel,
Nice to
I'm-
meet you, Captain.
the other Avenger that Barton was referring to, and she'll gesture to Hawkeye. So you're from outside of our dimension here to help?
Yes.
We've been putting together a plan to try and take Doom out, but every time we throw a big gun at him, they don't come back.
Probably don't want to take him on face to face. He has, from what we can tell, a very powerful and ancient magical force inside of him. That is what the wizard from our dimension is after.
Well, mystical mumbo jumbo, that's sort of Strange's purview.
That's
How can we
That's
help?
why we're. Do any of you know where the Book of Ashanti or the Time Gem are?
Do any of them know where that is? Captain Marvel will say that the Time Gem, well, I guess there's no sense in hiding it now. The Time Gem was handed over to the Illuminati for protection. I believe Namor was in charge of hiding it. Doctor Strange will lean over to Resident and be like, Namor's a fish guy. From Atlantis.
As in, she points over at Gatorman, like a literal fish guy?
No, he's got little wings on his feet.
That's nothing like a fish.
I know, it's very strange, but he's a mutant. He's the king of Atlantis. He and is a member of the secret organization that rules over the planet.
You have a secret organization that rules over the planet?
We did until Doctor Doom took over. Now everybody knows about it, I guess.
Are you sure you're not the bad guys?
Yes, I'm relatively sure. Although Tony can get a little dictatory sometimes.
That doesn't sound good. Okay, so Namor has it, but no one's heard from him?
No, we haven't made contact with Atlantis since this all began.
Okay. The book? Probably a long shot in that case.
Yeah, Doctor Strange will... he'll say, I'll be right back. There's a couple other people here who should probably meet you who might know more.
Okay.
I'll return with Brother Voodoo and Ghost Rider and see if they've heard anything.
Is it safe to say that Mortis would be uncomfortable in this facility,
Yes.
given the number of people who have died unfortunate deaths at this place?
Yes. No. This
Violent and horrific ends.
This is a cursed location.
So Mortis has been relatively quiet this entire time. Just as a yeah. Only reason people don't know he's a little pale right now is because he's got his mask up.
Resident will turn to Captain Marvel. Either one of the plans that we sort of have revolve around either rewinding time so that Doom can't complete the ritual, or sending the Vishanti back to their resting place so that Doom no longer has their power. Theoretically, that also puts this Chthon being under control again, because with the Vishanti at rest, they control or contain it.
Well, that's a relief to hear. Whatever we can come up with that can deal with Doom and Chthon, I think it's a great place to start.
Part of the problem is that a version of the Wizard from our dimension is captured in Doom's castle. What they are after, being in Doom's head, the book is likely a major warning flag to both Doom, Adrian, and Chthon that something's going on. Rewinding time is something that we're taught to not even consider.
It's not
So,
the first time we've solved problems with the time gem in our dimension.
and how many times when you do that does something else go horribly wrong?
Oh, invariably every time. But it's always something different that goes wrong, and we find another way to get around it.
So you trade one problem for the other, basically.
We try to avoid it when we can, but sometimes the Infinity Gems are the only solution to a problem.
Yeah. Resonant will pick up on Mortis's quietness and probably his unnerved emotional state, and she'll look at
Emotionally.
Norma. Yeah.
Whatever.
How many heroes did you lose? I have a friend who can maybe see if we can pull them back. If that's anything that would potentially help. Did we lose Alex? Or is he talking on mute?
Are you asking me if it's a good
Yeah.
idea for Mortis to bring them back?
No, I was asking Captain Marvel how many they lost.
Oh, I thought you were talking to Mortis. Sorry.
No. Sorry.
We lost quite a bit. Most of the X-Men, all of the Fantastic Four, the Avengers, Spider-Man, a lot of the Inhumans.
God, we know how many people are in each of these groups. Giving me a real overview of how many were lost.
There were 4 in the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I got that.
It was the only one we got so far.
We've probably lost 500 or 600 powered heroes and villains. God knows how many non-enhanced individuals.
Mortis, can you sense the crossroads here? Yeah,
Sorry. What was that?
It's okay. I know how you're feeling. Can you sense the crossroads here?
I'll take a deep breath and kind of reach out and see what I feel.
Mortis, you can sort of vaguely feel the crossroads here, but it seems very far away. Like, you're reasonably sure that your powers are going to work as they usually do, but bringing people back to life is, it feels like it might be a stretch for the Soul Vault. You might be able to try it with a couple of people, but you don't think you'd be able to bring back everybody who's been lost.
It's there, but I just can't grab it.
Okay. So probably not an option then.
Deadpool will say, the last time somebody brought a bunch of people back to life in our universe, everybody died. Have you not heard of Marvel Zombies?
Oh,
No?
No.
It's a horrible book. Don't read it. It's a pretty good episode of What If, though. was a little tonally unbalanced and a little confused, but it was pretty good.
Resident will shoot Carol a very confused look.
He has a condition.
I'm snickering because that was exactly the word my brain was picking up too. Um,
Sometimes he just says things and nobody knows what he's talking about. But
Okay.
he was able to clear this facility out as a place for us to be safe in advance of the catastrophe.
What was here?
Secret government. It's a secret government facility where they experimented on mutants to turn them into dangerous weapons.
So there were a lot of human weapons still here?
There's only 2 of the weapons still here, and she'll sort of look over at Deadpool and Wolverine.
So what were they clearing out then?
The facility staff, the Sentinels, various different defensive weapons.
Okay.
Sentinels are big robots that kill mutants.
Your world has a lot of really interesting ways of dealing with different people, I'm guessing.
Yeah, Deadpool will say it's weird. Everybody sort of hates the X-Men because they're people with powers, and everybody sort of loves the Avengers because they're people with powers.
Quietly wondering if Resident was right and they are the bad guys.
Deadpool will add on, most of the war crimes happen to mutants, though, not everybody. And it's sort of part of our story. It's kind of an allegory for oppression.
Guess that makes sense.
Did you guys have a civil rights movement in your dimension? Because that's where our book started.
Yes.
what is Fidge's engagement rate?
Is Strange still going to get those other 2?
He'll come back around now.
Carol says that.
Yeah,
Just
not-
tell.
Hawkeye looks at Bowman, like, when you mention that it's a version of the wizard from your dimension, he gives Bowman a knowing look. Like, I told you it was a wizard from your dimension.
Yeah, Bowman's just like, just gives him a little apologetic head shake.
Wizards, robots. What was the other one?
Wizards, androids, and aliens.
Now, when Ghost Rider walks in, I'm sure they're the bad guys.
Mortis doesn't.
Ghost Rider doesn't walk in full flaming skull. He comes in as Johnny Blaze.
Oh, we're going old school. Okay.
Yeah, big biker jacket, spikes on the top of it, sort of long white hair, scraggly beard. Very pissed off disposition on his face. He's accompanied by a tall black man with white and black hair, wearing a long coat, holding a staff that is covered in various icons and fetishes from what Resident and Mortis would recognize to be voodoo. And they're accompanied by Strange, who will say, again, Resonant, Bowman, Gatorman, Centuria, Mortis, this is Ghost Rider and Brother Voodoo. They both seem to have some information about the possible whereabouts of the Book of Ashanti and the Darkhold. And Brother Voodoo will introduce himself, will give a slight nod of the head, and say, I know that the original Book of Ashanti was destroyed in the conducting of the ritual that has given Doom his power, but Wong has hidden a copy somewhere in the Dark Dimension that could be retrieved from under Dormammu's nose.
And Dormammu is.
Deadpool kind of like clenches his teeth and squints real hard with his mask. He's kind of like Tarvon the Undying from your universe.
How do you know that?
Because I read the book.
The source book.
That's what you call it, but yes.
Do the bow squint.
Centuria
Right.
also does the bow squint.
And the Dark
Resonant-
Dimension's kind of like Determinus.
Resonant's eyes kind of go up, and she's like, oh, that may explain why he talks like he does. The source book has the tendency to do things to people.
I don't know what you mean by do things to people, but I think it makes for good streaming, at least. And Ghost Rider will say, I don't know what Wade's talking about, but the Darkhold is off limits.
Why?
Because bringing that book out of where it's hidden is not going to help any problems that we have.
Just gonna make things worse, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, if you really want to make sure Chthon wins the war, we can use the Darkhold for that, but that feels like deciding to have everybody commit suicide. Despite Doom's nose.
I
Okay.
wasn't a fan of that option anyways.
Yeah, I don't think we wanted to do that option.
Good.
So this place that you were talking about, you said it's like the terminus in our dimension?
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Yeah, there's even a big guy with a flaming head that's in charge of it.
Oh.
That's assuming you had dealings with this dark dimension and this Dormammu in the past.
You asking Deadpool?
No, just the heroes in general.
Doctor Strange will say, yes, I have run afoul of Dormammu many times.
There's no chance we can get him to bargain with us.
Jonesy.
I was waiting for it.
Dormammu, we've come to bargain.
Not again.
Dormammu is... I don't know that we could strike a deal with Dormammu, but I know he would not be content to see the world consumed by Doom or Chthon. He ultimately wants to destroy everything and plunge it into darkness.
Sounds pleasant.
Your friend Wong still alive? Can we ask him where he hid the book specifically?
I haven't heard from him since before the catastrophe. But I haven't sensed his death.
Or does he normally? Do you know where he normally hangs out?
Usually in the Sanctum, which is currently in your dimension. But there's also Kamartaj. It's a wizard school hidden in the mountains of Tibet. I haven't heard of how the school has been. They went dark shortly after Wanda was taken by Chthon.
He have gone to check on it?
He most certainly would have. I
Well,
would have too if I'd have been here and not away.
And maybe we should go there.
that's what I'm thinking. Check on your friend. Find out where specifically he hid the book. Go and retrieve it. The book, I know, is a more dangerous option. It will bring attention to us when we're trying to utilize it. you willing to help defend us while we work to undo what Doom has done? If we can get the book.
The gathered heroes and villains will agree. Sounds like the best kind of plan that we have.
Okay.
I will look towards the one who identified himself as Brother Voodoo and ask, what, if I may ask, to what extent is your abilities?
I am a powerful sorcerer. I am able to fend off the forces of those such as Papa Legba and all sorts of Loa that are looking to cause harm here on our plane of existence. I can commune with the dead. You appear to be 1 foot in the grave, 1 foot out, sir.
You'd be correct on that. I have an idea of one of the ways we might be able to help bolster our chances, but I would definitely need your help to do it.
I'm at your service. I sense that you have some connection to the netherworld.
You can say that. I am tied to a place we call the Crossroads, which is lands, dimension, place, whatever you want to call it, kind of like a step in between here and the afterlife.
It is a place where all sorts of deals are made.
And while I might not be able to bring your fallen friends back and maybe be able to rally them to for one last hurrah, or at least what's left. You know, those who have a strong enough presence still here.
I like where your head is. I think Johnny can help us too. He gestures to Ghost Rider. We can begin the ritual while you are on your way to get the book. Since it takes so many hours to do ritual casting.
3 weeks later.
Well, Doom killed everybody, but the ritual's ready.
Right. So, Resonant, do you want someone, or ask someone if they want to go check on this time zone in case this book falls through?
But not a bad idea to see if you can get a hold of Namor.
Who would go see Namor?
Carol.
Yeah, I think that's probably a job for Carol, Magic, and Crystal.
Was Magic here too?
She is, but she hasn't made an appearance yet.
Oh, okay.
At least that way, if something goes sideways, you could do the other plan you don't want to do and not the plan none of us really want to do.
Yeah. That's a fair point.
Carol say I could put together a strike team to head down and check on Atlantis and see what the situation is there.
A strike team? I thought he was your friend.
He's our friend when we don't go to Atlantis. He gets a little touchy when you go down there uninvited. And I don't know what the situation is down there. We haven't heard from him, so it's possible that they're writing this out in silence, but could just as much be that somebody has done something on the side of Doom or Chthon.
So is anyone, like, really friends in this universe?
Deadpool says, I'm everybody's friend.
Wolverine schnicks him.
And everyone groans.
I Actually, you know what? Bob is my friend.
Oh, you
Is
can
is
tell
Bob the
by
Hydra agent here?
Yes.
you can tell how about quickly they all answered. No.
A lot of alliances of convenience. Deadpool ads. But it's tough when you have like 70 years of competing history and books and writers and editors and Stan Lee stealing from Jack Kirby and all that fun stuff.
Right.
I think we're just not going to understand this guy.
It's okay. Your guys' universe isn't as old as our universe.
I'm not getting in a religious debate.
Although your universe is old enough to drink now, so good for you.
Okay.
Yeah, Centuria is just looking at Resonant like, what the fuck?
Yeah, all right, then Kamartaj, we'll head there, find Wong, find information about the book. If we can go to the Dark Dimension and retrieve it. Should we come back and get one of you?
Strange will reach into his pocket and he will hand you a stone, Resonant.
Okay.
He'll say that this is a sending stone. When you are ready for us, pour some of your magic into this and I will sense it in its partner with me. And we'll be able to appear presently where you are.
Okay.
Perhaps I should go with the group to check on Atlantis as well. I have a cordial colleague-style relationship with Namor. It's a pity Sue Storm isn't here.
Be careful down there. You don't know what you might be running into.
You too.
How do we get to Kamartaj?
Hawkeye says, I've got a solution for that.
What do you have, Hawkeye?
A Quinjet.
What is a Quinjet?
Deadpool's like, it's a Pegasus plane.
Okay, I've seen those before.
You have those in the Freedom Week.
Well, then he's seen them before.
The statement stands.
Hawkeye says, I'll get you there, low and slow. We don't want any of your planet-crossing magic to attract the attention of any of the magic types that are ruling the planet right now. What do you think,
That
Arrow
is-
guy? Can you co-pilot for me?
Of course.
Arrow.
Let's see how impressive your Quinjet is.
Let me guess. You have a Bowjet?
Aeroplane.
It is a bow plane, and it's in the prototype stages currently.
Your friend's right. Aeroplane was right there.
That would actually be better.
If it's still a prototype, the name can be changed. Just
And he will load you up into the Quinjet. You guys will take off on your way towards Kamartaj. Something amazing is about to happen. I need you all to be aware of that.
Uh-oh.
I don't like it when he says things like that.
Yeah, because is it amazing to us or amazing to him?
Yeah.
Bit of both.
I think it can
Bit
be
of
two
both.
things. Next on Madison Saves the Marvel Universe. 2 N's, 1 Y, but it's
I'm
not what you think.
think.
It's exactly where I thought it was, Madison. Okay, so the plane takes off. Bowman, give me a vehicles check.
Okay, time to show off to the other archer.
Don't say that out loud.
I got a temp fate. 23.
Yeah, give me. I need to pull up my Hawkeye character sheet and see what his vehicles is.
And I also like just look at his equipment and see if I can mentally compare it to mine.
Sure. Give me a technology check or an expertise archery check.
Having an arrow measuring contest.
Yes. I can't roll the skill from here. I'll just do it. I'll just type it out. Or actually, sorry, can I use my archery range combat roll? Because I don't have like an expertise.
Yeah, you can use your range
Archer.
combat roll. That's embarrassing, Hawkeye.
Oh, is that his vehicles check?
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, to be fair, it's only one higher than yours, Calvin.
No, Calvin's is only one higher than mine.
That's what I said.
Oh, boo.
Your points are there for a reason.
His arrows look comparable to yours. If you had to guess, he's got a couple of weird, like, you could tell that there's some weird, like, bullshit comic book metal arrows in there.
He doesn't have an anti-magic arrow.
He does not have an anti-magic arrow, but you see there's an adamantium arrow in there. There's a couple of weird diamond-tipped arrows. The fletching's all purple. It's all on brand.
Bowman actually likes him just a bit better.
Because you guys rolled the same thing on the dice and you got one better than him.
I mean, that does
12
help.
for a 23 and a 22. But by your powers combined, you're able to sneakily get your plane across the world over to Kamartaj in Eastern Asia.
Is the world like absolutely devastated, or are there pockets of like normalcy?
It is sort of pretty much spread between absolute destruction and orderly oppression. The places that Doom is in control of are all under the purview of Doombots, and people are being pressed into work, and it looks like a lot of the buildings are being torn down and made in the image of Latveria. So medieval European village with like hover horses and tanks and things like that. There are lots of these green cloaked robots walking around, pushing people around. Some would say Doombots. Doombot.
Doobie-da.
And the areas that Cthon is in control of have been pretty much razed to the ground and full with crackling red energy and hellscape. As the Quinjet comes up and over the mountains and heading down the Himalayas and heading down into the valleys where Kamartaj is, you do see that the school is there and it appears to be completely untouched. Again, it's sort of this monk-esque East Asian temple structure. There's a number of spires and towers and dormitories spread across. It's nestled into a pretty picturesque valley from up here. The sun's just coming down over one of the mountain peaks, casting a golden light across the entire field below. And there is a helipad that looks like it is perfectly sized for a Quinjet.
Convenient.
Hawkeye will lean back and say, "We don't come here very often, but the Avengers are the team that tends to wind up here when trouble's afoot."
Do you have any sort of scanner or something that can see what we can expect below? Heat scans, see how many people there are, or anything else?
Yeah, of course. I thought of that.
Of course you did, Hawkeye.
Yeah, thanks for noticing. Arrow guy, Archer, Bowman.
Susan.
Susan.
Now you're doing it on purpose.
Oh, give me a perception check, Bowman, as you and Hawkeye run the sensors.
27.
28.
Again,
Is it
One
weird that
off
makes me
from
like
each
him
other.
more?
And below the energy, the heat sensors, the organic life signatures, they are all coming back as if there are several hundred people down there. Mortis and Resident, give me a perception check.
sure. Oh, I could do better than that. Yep, 34.
26.
It's a very good roll for Mortis.
Yeah, I was impressed.
Mm-hmm.
Look, there was a difference of 1 again. It was 26 and 25.
Initially.
Yeah. 25, 26, 27, 28. That's all we got right there. But then we got 34 for Resident. Both of you are able to sense that the magical aura of this place is off the charts. There are all kinds of mystical wards and energies all about this place that are just sort of overwhelming. And Resident with a 34, I will say that you note that there is a little bit of chaos magic sort of swirling underneath everything.
Okay. She'll look over at Mortis. I've never felt a place this steeped in magical energy. Not since we went to Lafandi.
Yeah, it's definitely strange.
Did you feel the chaos at the center of it though?
Not really. But my senses tend to, my abilities tend to skew more towards the dark. So
President will look up towards the front of the Quinjet. I can't be certain, but I'm not sure everything is as it seems down there. There's just this undercurrent of chaotic magic suffusing this place.
want me to head down ahead?
Is that bad?
You
Mrs. Hawkeye?
know what? I don't know. Without a reference frame for how this place usually is, I can't say, but the Chthon that Dr. Strange was talking about seems to be all about chaos magic. If there's an underpinning here, it may have a hold on things. And she'll look at Mortis. You know what Kate would say.
Be careful and that I'm already a ghost.
It didn't help you against Adrian. Doubt it'll help you against a bunch of sorcerers here, too.
I got cocky against Adrian.
Centuria's here, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm assuming she heard the whole conversation.
I'm assuming we're in the front seat and forgetting that she hears everything for like last mile around.
I don't
Centuria's
forget.
minding her business, she's letting them talk it out.
So I don't forget that Centuria can hear everything I say no matter where I am.
Mortis does.
Mortis is like, did you see her shoes today?
What's wrong with my shoes?
Ugly.
Mm.
I'm just saying, she pulled off that Praetor's outfit. I mean,
I would. Yes, we need intel. I don't want to send anyone alone.
Be right back. And I will insubstantial and step out of the plane.
Hawkeye's like, do you want me to land or not?
No, give us a minute.
Check this out, Bowman. It hovers, and he'll put it in hover mode.
Was actually working on something similar. I might have to borrow your designs when this is
Yeah.
over.
I mean, they're Shield's designs, but I'll make sure you get a copy of the blueprints. Mortis, are you going to descend towards Kamrataj?
I'm going to be a ghost and descend towards Kamrataj.
Curious.
to be, and I'm going slowly. I'm not speeding in. I'm going in and kind of looking around and seeing up. Because I can pick up souls, so I'm looking for clusters of souls.
Awesome. Mortis, you notice that there are souls down there. They don't appear to be in motion the way that you're used to souls being. It's almost like they're in idle mode. Like they're waiting for somebody to interact with.
They're NPCs.
I look for the pathing.
Deadpool's like, yeah, you get it.
just float casual. You got this.
Yeah, but nobody seems to pay any mind of you floating down.
I will float
How close
on
are you
down.
getting?
I'm still within a shot of the Quinjet. I kind of get down a little. I could probably cut half the distance between the Quinjet and the compound. Everything seems to be going okay at that point, so I'm turning around and give a thumbs up, and I'm going to keep going and wait for things to go horribly wrong, because they're going to go horribly wrong in about
Mm-hmm.
4 minutes.
When Mortis gets lower than the tallest tower of Kamrataj, he disappears.
Centuria groans.
Try to get him on the comms. Mortis, he still there?
You hear the sort of weird, sort of like commercial jingle playing over the comlink.
Hawkeye, you might have to set us down. Actually, no. Should probably stay hovering, but we need to get in there.
Well, do you want me to stay up here, or do you want me to come down with you?
Ooh. Bowman feels like it's a bad idea, but Calvin thinks it'll be funny.
While you're deciding, can you open the door so I can,
Yeah, we'll
or I'll punch it open?
open the bay door.
Centuria is out as soon as it opens. As soon as it opens the minuscule amount that she needs to slide out, she's gone.
Sonic boom on the inside. Gatorman's ears are ringing.
She'll fly back. Do y'all need me to take you down there?
What?
I need the team earplugs.
Is the landing pad outside of? I guess we don't know the range of whatever effect has happened here.
The landing pad is not in the temple structure proper. It is sort of outside of the spires, but it is lower down than the tallest tower.
Right. Okay, Hawkeye, you can probably set down. We'll try to get contact with Mortis again.
Excellent.
But something weird is going on here, so if this craft is any sort of stealth technology.
Oh, we've been stealth the whole way, baby. Don't worry about that.
Bowman actually smirks. Not bad.
Okay, are you guys done? Do you guys need me to take
Yeah,
you
let's go.
down, or do you? Okay.
At least 2 of these people left in the plane can't fly.
All right, Gator Man,
I don't know what you're saying. I'm really glad I didn't have super hearing at that moment.
come to Mama.
I'm not gonna say no to a hug.
That's the new ship.
She'll hug Gator Man with one arm and be like, "Sorry, Bowman," and just scoop him up because she knows that he doesn't like it.
Holding him by the scruff of his neck as he's the scruff of his costumes.
I'll live with this for now.
And then she flies uncomfortably fast, but not fast enough to murder them, down into the thing.
Excellent. When you get below the tallest tower of Camertage, you 3 disappear.
Blink, blink, blink.
Well,
I suspect I know what Alex has done to us.
Resident will look at Hawkeye. Do you have a comm I can borrow, just in case it'll actually work with whatever happens?
Yeah. And he presses a button and a Avengers console opens up in the back that has comms for each of you.
Thanks. I'll see if I can get the rest of these to the others. Stay here. Don't come after us. If we're not back in a bit, head back. I'll try to contact Strange with the sending stone he gave if we can't get through on comms.
Okay. You don't want me to land the Quinjet?
Don't need you disappearing down there too.
All right. I'll hang out for a few minutes, and if I don't hear back from you, I'll go grab the. I'll head back to base. Then let Strange know what happened.
Yeah. Tell him exactly what I told you. This place is suffused with a lot of chaos magic. And you saw everyone disappear as soon as they passed the top of the tallest tower.
Yep, this is a good.
Okay. And Resident will head out with the comm gear in tow and head down.
And Resident, when you go down, you also disappear. And instead of telling you all what happens, the scene cuts away back to the Weapon X base, where Deadpool is wearing Crocs with his feet up on the coffee table and turning on the TV. And he says, "I can't wait to find out what happens on this week's episode of Contessa." As you all slowly begin to come to in an Regency era wonderful romantic house.
Oh God!
This again.
Oh, I hope I get to roll my romantic,
Literature.
romance fiction roll.
As WandaVision takes you into the idiot box.
As soon as you said commercial, I'm like, oh, I knew exactly what you could do us. I'm like, ah.
Oh, I'm so excited! I fucking love the idiot box.
So next week we will rejoin our heroes as they contend with whatever TV hell Wanda has cooked up for them, as they try to find Wong and the Book of Ashanti. As far as news around the network goes, not next Tuesday, but the following Tuesday, the Gemstars will be back. Thursday, I believe we have a blog post coming up. I'll have to double check on that. Thank you again to everybody who signed up for our events and really got us really close to selling out all of our events, which is super awesome. We have a couple of seats left in the Thursday night Whatever Happened to the Alternatines game, and 2 seats left in the Hades Invasion game, which is going to be so much fun. I can't wait to hang out with everybody at Origins here in a month or so. Almost 2 months. I'll tell myself almost 2 months because I still have a lot of preparation to do. And I want to give everybody else a chance to say goodbye, plug anything they want to plug, and then we'll get out of here for the evening. Oh, and on Friday, we have a new episode of our podcast coming out. Heroes of Tomorrow. So I'll head over to Kat to plug anything she wants to plug and say goodbye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching as always, regardless of how you're watching us. We appreciate it. Like he just said, definitely listen to our podcast. It's sort of funny that, what's going on here sort of vaguely calls to what's going on there. So definitely watch that, have a few laughs. You can watch it while you're doing pretty much anything. So yeah, but that's all that I really have to say. Again, thank you so much for watching us, and I will pass it to Jonesy.
Thanks for tuning in tonight. Had a blast. And looking forward to finding out just kind of what sitcom hell Alex has got planned for us. Yeah, and so with that, I will say thank you and Alex and the team, and kick it over to Bowman.
Okay. Yeah, I'm actually very excited to see what might happen with a fourth wall breaking character in a tabletop RPG session. I'm curious what will happen there. And if Bowman is also going to make another friend here, and then that friend will immediately be exploded by an Adrian.
Stop.
Again.
Read my notes.
Who is the Sophie of this universe? Find out next episode on
Not without my Sophie.
Sophie's Choice.
All my Sophies. Sophies of our lives. Yeah, and of course also check out the podcast because it's very fun over there. And yes, it's going to be 2 weeks until the next Gemstars episode. Something very dramatic happened at the end of the last episode, and it's very, very stressful to wait for, but you gotta wait. But if you are on the YouTubes, please check out the Women's Dice channel because we got gaming streams and podcasting and all sorts of fun stuff. And with that, I'll pass it to Andy.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We'll be back again next week for more superhero shenanigans. Big thank you to everyone who signed up for my events at Origins. I am sold out, which is wonderful and scary at the same time. So we'll see you, those of you that are going to be part of this, we'll see you at Origins in a month and a half or so, like Alex said. And we'll see everyone next week for more Freedom League Dark. Kevin?
So as always, thank you for watching, whether you're watching after, watching live. Always appreciate when you can make it in there. Good people at Untold Stories Project. You also have a Patreon, so if you feel like you can, great. Or subscribe, watch, however you can. We appreciate you being there. But as always, and most importantly, please remember, parents, don't let your kids grow up to play speedsters. Back to Alex.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to add, but thank you again, everybody. Yeah, next week's gonna be bananas. I have so many plans. I have so many good plans. It's gonna be great.
Do we get to draw again?
I think so.
I hope so.
Oh no.
I love that.
Deadpool loves the Bob Ross program, so Deadpool's in control of the remote.
Oh my god. We're just gonna be on Contessa forever.
We're gonna draw some happy little drama. That's right.
Yeah, it'll be great. But until then, we will see you. Make good choices. Be good people, and we will see you then.